Attention boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. The St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast is about to begin on channel 72. That's channel 72 for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area, please stand by for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast for Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. Break. Anyone currently using this channel, I'd like to kindly ask you to switch your working traffic to another channel. We're going to conduct the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast this morning. Our broadcast will be about 45 minutes to an hour this morning. We do appreciate your cooperation. Please stand by for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network broadcast. We'll be right back after we clear the channel. Stand by. Good morning, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning in our nation's oldest city, St. Augustine, Florida, also known as the Ancient City. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm broadcasting live this morning for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network live VHF broadcast for Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. We're broadcasting live this morning from the motor vessel Ovation, located at Comachee, Cove, Marina. Special thanks this morning to Admiral Yacht Sales for providing this wonderful boat to do the broadcast from. We do this broadcast every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. on this channel, channel 72 on the VHF radio, to share valuable information with our cruising community here in the St. Augustine area. We also have a St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It is a private page with thousands of volunteer members. I highly recommend checking out that page, that Facebook page, as well as this broadcast is a vital tool to share important information with our boating and cruising community here in Northeast Florida, especially the St. Augustine area. During this morning's broadcast, we will go over some weather, tidal information, some local marina and just marine information, as well as have our open forum and roll call, and we will conclude with a blessing this afternoon. Excuse me, this is a little later, it's not that long. Please remember this is a live VHF radio channel in one of the most popular destinations, boating destinations on the East Coast. St. Augustine's very popular. So there will be several breaks in this morning's broadcast so others can use the channel. Please feel free to, and I recommend and encourage participation in this morning's broadcast, as this is a valuable tool to share information with our cruising community. Let's get going with the show. Hopefully everybody everybody's having a great morning this morning. It's warm, that wind's already blowing, but it's a beautiful morning here in St. Augustine, Florida, our nation's oldest city. St. Augustine is a very popular destination for our boaters and cruisers, not just because it's a wonderful city and there's lots to do and a very historic area to visit, also because we have a very popular inlet. It's a very convenient inlet. It's located close to the city, close to shopping. It's a very convenient location to allow our boating and cruising community to get some much needed time off the boat as well as provision your boat. But because we have this inlet so close to the city, we do experience very strong currents here in the city of St. Augustine. I want to caution you about the currents here at St. Augustine. They can get quite strong in and around the area of St. Augustine, so you want to be vigilant. The best way to negotiate the currents here at St. Augustine is to know your tides. So I like to share the tidal information with you for the downtown St. Augustine area. I get my tidal information from the usharbors.com website. The times I will give you will be for the city docks. And those of you looking for slack water in the downtown St. Augustine area is plus 50. That means it's 50 minutes after the tidal change. That's 50 minutes after the tidal change is your best time to anticipate slack water here in the downtown St. Augustine area. Today, we have a high tide coming up this morning about 11:30. So that water's flooding in this morning. We had a very early low tide. We're going to have a low tide this afternoon about 5:30. Tomorrow morning we're going to have a low tide early in the morning, about 6:20, followed by a high tide tomorrow about midday, about 12:25 in the afternoon tomorrow. That's going to have an evening low tide tomorrow about 6:30. And Thursday, our low tide is going to be after the sunrise. It'll be at 7:20 in the morning on Thursday morning, followed by a midday high tide about 1:25. Then we'll have that evening low tide about 7:30 p.m. on Thursday. Remember that we do get those strong currents, especially around the downtown area. And those of you looking for that slack water, it's 50 minutes after the tidal change. That's 50 minutes after the tidal change. Best way to negotiate the strong currents here in St. Augustine is to know your tides. Our marine forecast I get from the NOAA website. Today we're going to have the east winds 10 to 15 knots, and I'm looking out this morning, I can see it's already blowing, so it's already there. So we got that 10 to 15 knot west or east wind. That's going to have our seas about 3 to 5 feet. And with that wind and that wind direction today, we're going to have a moderate chop on the inland waters here in St. Augustine today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the winds are going to switch a little more out of the south. It'll be about 5 to 10 knots and not as strong. Seas will still be in that 3 to 4 foot with occasional 5-foot sets tomorrow, but our inland waters will just be a light chop tomorrow. Then Thursday, we're going to have more of those southeast winds, 10 to 15 knots, seas in that 3 to 5 feet, and a moderate chop on the inland waters. Our weather forecast for the St. Augustine area I get from the Weather Channel. Today we're going to have highs in the low 80s. 83 degrees is the forecasted high for today. Tomorrow, or this evening, the low is 72. You can see we have some clouds early this morning. There's a small chance of passing showers this morning, mostly south of St. Augustine. We got a 40% chance of some passing rain today. That's early, and then it's going to become sunny this afternoon. Those conditions are going to hold with us through the weekend. We're going to get increasing chances of rain on Saturday. It's much needed rain as we're in a very dry period now. Tomorrow our high is going to be much like today, high of 83, lows low 70s. It's going to be partly cloudy tomorrow. We're only going to have about a 20% chance of rain tomorrow. Today's rain chance is 40% for the St. Augustine area. Then Thursday is going to be a high of 85, low is going to be 73. It's going to be beautiful, sunny, beautiful day on Thursday. Now, I'm not a weatherman at all, but I do like to share the weather information with the group. Really, the most important thing is just be wary of these real strong currents that we get in and around the city. They get stronger the closer you get to the inlet. So just be careful with those currents. Know your tides. And remember that slack water is 50 minutes after the tidal change. That's plus 50. We're going to take a quick break, clear the channel. When we get back, we're going to have some local information about events going on in the city and our roll calls. Please stand by. Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm broadcasting live from the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. Coming to you live this morning from the motor vessel Ovation. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales for that. And we're broadcasting from the Comachee Cove Marina in Volano Beach this morning. We conduct this broadcast every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. on this channel. And we also have a Facebook page, the St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. I encourage you to check out that page. It offers valuable information for our boating and cruising communities. Now on Tuesdays, I like to share some information during our open forum about some of our local services and products and just some of the different available services that you have here in the St. Augustine area. That way any of our cruisers from out of town, if you need to get some services done or some work done, I will give you some different names of some different companies that are here in the St. Augustine area. So you want to have yourself a pen, a piece of paper handy. There may be some useful information you'll get. But before we do that, we like to reach out and we like to do our Ancient City roll call. And we do this in order to find out how many people are out there listening to us this morning and where you're at, and it gives you an opportunity to chime in. And I encourage participation at any break at all in the broadcast, but right now is when we do our roll call and our open forum. So this is the part where I encourage participation. If you'd like to check in with this morning's roll call, please check in now and let us know where you're at and the name of your boat so we know how far we're reaching. So if you'd like to check in, please check in now. Good morning. Thank you for checking in this morning. Good morning. I'd like to thank those boaters who checked in this morning. Everyone else, if you're just listening, we're going to share some important information about some services and products available here in the St. Augustine area. If you miss any portion of this broadcast, or we're not getting it all very clear, if you're very far away from St. Augustine, you're not picking it all up, Anchor Eats actually records these broadcasts. Anchor Eats is a sponsor for this morning's Open Forum and Ancient City Roll Call. Anchor Eats is a nautical delivery service that's here on the water in St. Augustine. It's the DoorDash on the water. But Anchor Eats records these broadcasts and they play them back on their Anchor Eats Boating Bliss YouTube channel. So if you miss any portion of this morning's broadcast, you can always check out that Facebook page, because there'll be a recorded video will be on the Facebook page. Or you can catch it on the Anchor Eats Boating Bliss YouTube channel. Now we do an open forum now to ask questions to our local boating community and to share information and to give people an open platform in order to share information about vital services that are available here in and around the city of St. Augustine. So I'd like to ask, is there anyone that's new to St. Augustine, cruising through, or you may live here permanently? Is there anyone out there that's listening this morning that requires any information about services or products here in the St. Augustine area? If so, please let us know now. I'd like to share some information about some services that are available here in the St. Augustine area. St. Augustine has a great boating family. We have so many people that are involved in the boating industry that are liveaboards and that are part of the boating family here. And I'm going to name off a handful of businesses that are available here in the St. Augustine area. And most of these people, if not all of them, are residents here. They're boaters, cruisers, just like you. It's boaters doing service for boaters. I'd like to tell you about a great service we have here at St. Augustine. It's called Cove Brown Mobile Pump Out Service. Code Brown Mobile Pump Out Service is exactly what it sounds like. It's Code Brown. They come to your boat, whether you're in the anchorages, mooring fields, or marinas. They come to your boat and give you a mobile pump out for a small fee. Code Brown's very active, and they've sponsored the trivia questions here in the St. Augustine area. They have a very clean boat. It's a very professionally run company. It's very nice. It's a great service that we have here in the St. Augustine area. You can find out more information about Code Brown Mobile Pump Out Service by calling him. You can call Code Brown at 904-837-8740. Again, that's 904-837-8740, or check out their website, codebrownpumpout.com. No one's happier with Code Brown's hard work than our next couple vendors that we have available here in St. Augustine, and those are some of the dive services that are available here. We have Clear Blue Sea Services. It's a dive service. They do everything under the water. The owner's used to be a liveaboard on his boat. He's very knowledgeable about boating, everything from the top of the mast to the bottom of the keel. But Charles specializes in underwater work. If you need anything done under the water, you can give Clear Blue Sea Services a call. Give them a call at 904-635-2628. Again, 904-635-BOAT. Or check out their website, clearblueseaservices.com. We have another dive service that's here in St. Augustine called the Liberty Diving Underwater Services. Stan and Wyatt over at Liberty Diving are great. They're just professional individuals. They'll come to you in the marinas and wherever you need them. Stan and Wyatt, they're really good, very knowledgeable, very professional. You can call Liberty Diving Underwater Services at 904-505-8974. Again, Liberty Diving Underwater Services, 904-505-8974. And St. Augustine has its very own Stash Island Diving Service. This is a local diving favorite here in the St. Augustine area. Sam will come to you, whether you're in the anchored field, mooring field. Sam will come right to you. He comes by boat. You can give Stash Island Diving Service a call at 904-248-2691. Again, give Sam a call at Stash Island Diving Service, 904-248-2691. And when you meet Sam, you'll know why. The name of the company is Stash Island. Those of you looking for marine repairs, this is more mechanical and electrical and refrigeration and AC work. You can give Hanson Marine Service a call. Hanson Marine, very professional, been around St. Augustine for quite some time. They're very good. You can give them a call at 904-708-9722. Again, Hanson Marine Service, that is 904-708-9722. And St. Augustine has our very own yacht rigger here in St. Augustine. The yacht rigger does everything except engines and heads. They do custom arches, solar refits, lithium, all things rigging, whether it's power or sail, they do it all. They have 2 locations to serve you. I've been to their full welding and fabrication shop. It's very impressive. They also have a retail shop located at the River's Edge Marina. They're a dealer for a really cool tender and dinghy here in town. If you want to find out more about that, give them a call over there at 904-257-5130. That's the yacht rigger, 904-257-5130. St. Augustine has its very own Sailors Exchange here in St. Augustine. It's a marine supply warehouse with new and used inventory. You can find that hard to find item that you've been looking for, that little bolt or that little screw or that hard to find washer. Give the folks over at the Sailors Exchange a call, 904-808-0667. That's 904-808-0667 for Sailors Exchange. Those of you looking for propane while you're in St. Augustine, we have a couple propane stores. The cheapest game in town for propane is Courtesy Gas. You can give the folks at Courtesy Gas a call at 904-829-2709. They are the cheapest game in town when it comes to bulk refills, and they do inspect your bottles. We also have an Ace Hardware that is just north of the city, just north of the fort, a handful of blocks there. You can go to the Ace Hardware. They do sell bulk propane, and it is a full service hardware store. We also have a Home Depot, a Walmart. There's a West Marine also located in St. Augustine. One of my favorite marine supply and oil companies is, that's exactly what it's called, the Marine Supply and Oil Company. It's off of Riberia Street. It's a short walk west from the city marina, or you can get there by water. I'll tell you how to do that later in the show. You can go see Charlie over there at the Marine Supply and Oil Company. He's very knowledgeable. This place has everything. It is like a warehouse. It's just got tons of stuff. Don't think that they may not have it. Give them a call. They probably have it. You can call the folks over there at the Marine Supply and Oil Company at 904-829-2271. That's 904-829-2271. Then those of you looking to get your boat detailed, get it back in shape after cruising south before you head north, you can give our friends a call at Marine Artisans. They are a full service marine detail and management company for Northeast Florida. They do interiors and exteriors. They show up with a full crew of men that jump on your boat and they take care of it. They've been around since 2017. You can give the Marine Artisans a call at 904-557-1994 or check out their website, marineartisans.com. That's just some of the services that are available here in the city of St. Augustine. Again, remember to check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. A lot of the advertisements for a lot of the folks that I just talked about are on that Facebook page. So you can get some vital information by checking out that Facebook page. It is the private page. Now, are there any boaters or cruisers that are out there this morning that are trying to sell anything or donate anything or lighten their load while they're here in the St. Augustine area? If so, please let us know now. And now is the lost and found portion. Has anybody lost anything or found anything they'd like to share with the group? If so, please do so now. Now, are there any boaters in the St. Augustine area that are departing, planning your departure, currently departing, or need any kind of information about the cities or waterways north or south of St. Augustine? If so, please let us know now. And now is the portion of this morning's broadcast where we do our general announcement. Is there any announcements that anyone would like to share with the group? If so, like birthdays or anniversaries or anything, if you'd like to share it with the group, please do so now. I would like to share some information. This week is Boating Safety Week. So I encourage you to take this week and check out those items that you don't normally check out on your boat. Check those batteries in your flashlight, not just your main flashlight you use, but your backup flashlight. Check those dates on your hydrostatic releases and on your life rafts. Actually take and put on those life jackets, not the ones you always wear that you have just for you, but the ones that you would give to a guest or a passenger that's on your boat. Make sure that they're clean and they clamp and they close and they open properly. Just take this week to check out some of the safety things that we have on our boats. A safe boat is a happy boat, so spend a little time this week. Check it out. There's all kinds of things you can do on your boat to ensure that you're safe. Double check the batteries in that smoke detector. Double check that the wires are plugged in on your carbon monoxide sensor. Just do little things. Double check that shackle on your anchor. Do little things that are safety related that'll help this boating season be a nice, safe boating season. Well, I'd like to thank those of you that chimed in and checked in for our Ancient City roll call. And remember, if you missed any information from this morning's open forum, you can catch it on our Facebook page, the St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. Anchor Eats records the shows, and you'll be able to see it on the Facebook page. I encourage you to check that out. We talked about how St. Augustine is a very popular city for our boating and cruising community because of the proximity of our inlet. Well, also because it's an amazing city. The whole city is a museum. There's so much to do in and around the city of St. Augustine, but one of the great things about St. Augustine is doing nothing here. Sitting back on your boat, reading a book, just watching the day go by. There's nothing like it. But I did a little homework to share some information with you on how you can find out what's going on in and around the city. There's lots to do here in the city, and we could talk about it all day. but I found some useful websites for you to check out. One of the most useful websites I've found is called visitsataugustine.com. This is a very helpful website. Gives you a little bit of information about everything going on in and around the city of St. Augustine. They give you information about the farmers markets and festivals that are going on and any kind of live venues. There's also information about free shuttles that are on the visitsataugustine.com website. If you look on there today, you'll see they're talking about a music and art festival that's by the sea, and it's tomorrow night on Wednesday down by the St. Augustine Pier. They do this from 3 to 9. You can bring a chair and sit on the beach and listen to live music. They'll have food trucks and local art for sale. That's located at the pier, which is just a short Uber ride just south of the city. They also do a great farmers market at the pier on Wednesdays. So tomorrow morning at the pier, they will have a farmers market. It's a great event. They have live music. They have food trucks, lots of vendors, great selection of vegetables. It's pet friendly. There's free parking. It really is a great event. Check that out, and you'll find out more about the farmers markets and everything else going on in the city by checking out that website, visitsataugustine.com. Now, St. Augustine has a hidden jewel. It's called the Amphitheater. It's an outdoor concert venue that's just south of town. A lot of people don't know that we have it here, but it is a very, very popular venue for live bands to come and play. They also do farmers markets and festivals, all kinds of events at the amphitheater. You can find out more about the events going on at the amphitheater by checking out their website, theamp.com. For example, they have Willie Nelson coming this week on May 21st playing there. So they get lots of headliner bands, popular bands and acts that come there. If you're here in St. Augustine for any amount of time, I encourage you to check out their website. You may be able to catch one of your favorite bands live here in St. Augustine at the amphitheater. The St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page, I talked about it earlier. It's a private page. They also plan events, and you can go to that page and scroll over to the events section, and you'll see from time to time we have local volunteers that'll plan events here in the city, and we try out different restaurants, bars, and just different locations, so that way we can allow a great venue for our boating and cruising community to meet one another. You just go to the Facebook page, scroll over to the events section, click on events, and see what events we have coming up. That's just some of the information and about some of the things going on in and around the city of St. Augustine. We're going to take a quick break, clear the channel. When we get back, we're going to have some local marine information. Please stand by.
All right, here we go. Let's go for a walk. We're at Comachee Cove Marina this morning, and this is the motor vessel Ovation. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales. Here's Comachee. There's the fixed bridge that I'm about to tell you about that's in Volano Beach. That side of the bridge is Volano Beach. This side's still Volano Beach, but that's essentially really the beach out there. Let's go for a walk. Check out this boat. This boat's provided to us by Admiral Yacht Sales. Mark Drukas over at Admiral Yacht Sales is a great buddy of mine. He's a good guy. He's been in the boat business for 30 years. He's very professional, and he takes care, and he owns Admiral Yacht Sales, which is located right there in that office right there. The Freedom Boat Club's there. The Marina office in Comachee Cove is located over there. Here's the channel that goes in and out of here. You can see the boats going in and out this morning. This is a Freedom Boat Club boat. There's a breakwater located out there that breaks up the current, so you don't have a lot of current inside the harbor here. It's a nice thing. Those of you wanting to get a hold of Mark Drukas at Admiral Yacht Sales for anything sales related, that's his telephone number. Give him a shout. This is this beautiful boat that we're on this morning. Look at this thing. Isn't this gorgeous? So pretty. Super thanks to Mark Drukas for allowing us to use the boat this morning. Let's get a walk around. Check it out. So we are at the Comachee Cove Marina. And we're cruising down the side of this boat. This boat's for sale, and there's others for sale through Admiral Yacht Sales. If you're interested, you can check out his website. But here's Comachee Cove Marina. There's a full-service boat yard located back there in the corner. That's the Comachee Cove Yacht Yard. The folks over there are really good. You know, Mason and his father, they're very professional. Very good guys. That's a full-service boat yard if you need anything. This is hotel rooms right here. They're rebuilding their restaurant here. We're looking forward to what restaurant's going to come here. In front of this hotel and in front of the boat yard, there's a pizza place and a couple different restaurants and a salon out there. I encourage you to check it out. Here's the Ovation. Real popular thing for people to do is to walk over this bridge. You can start over here. You can start over here you park at your dinghy at the marina here and walk through the parking lot. And you can walk over this bridge, and on the other side of this bridge is Volano Beach. There's a Publix over there, grocery stores, lots of stores, shops, and restaurants that are over there, bars. It's the Volano Beach area. But a real popular thing for cruisers to do is to walk that bridge, get their steps in. It's got a nice little protected area. It keeps you out of the traffic. You know, it's a safe walk. But those of you that want to check out the Comachee Cove has its full service marina. They have transient dockage, fuel sales, diesel sales. Some say they have the best prices in fuel in town. So you can check out Comachee Cove Marina. It's right over here just north of town. All right, that was our walk around on this beautiful Ovation. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales. Now let's get back to the show.
It's berry season. The juiciest.
Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. My name is Brian Bliss, broadcasting live for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. Broadcasting live this morning for the Comachee Cove Marina. Special thanks to Admiral Yacht Sales as he provided this beautiful motor vessel Ovation for us to use to do this morning's broadcast. Now, I'm a 30-year native. I'm a native of Northeast Florida. Been boating on these waters for about 30 years. So during this portion of the broadcast, I'd like to share some of my knowledge and wisdom about the local area. Everybody's familiar with downtown St. Augustine with the fort and the bridge and such. But there's a lot going on in St. Augustine. There's a great little area south of town. There's a great little area north of town. There's dinghy docks and different marinas located all over town. So right now, I'd like to share some information with you about some of the services and places that you can go to explore and check out while you're here in the St. Augustine area. We talked about our inlet. Our inlet makes it a very popular destination. It's very convenient to hop right in and to hop right out. But this inlet, I want to tell you, we do get shifting sandbars and shoals that are both north and south of the channel here in the St. Augustine Inlet. So I highly recommend staying inside the channel markers all the way to the sea buoy if you're outbound before you make your northern or southern turn. Exactly the same applies when you're inbound. Come to the sea buoy before making your western approach. In other words, Don't cut the corners unless you have local knowledge. We do get sandbars and shoaling that stretch quite a way offshore. So make sure that you stay inside the marked channel markers all the way to the sea buoy if you're outbound. Also remember, the ebb tide will make that inlet look completely different. And remember, we get those very strong currents. The closer you get to the inlet, the stronger the currents. If you're inbound into the river, into the city of St. Augustine, there's nothing like it. You got the cross blessing you, that's our beacon of faith. You have the lighthouse lighting your path. You have the fort guarding it. It really is a majestic entrance into the city of St. Augustine. But when you're coming in, if you're inbound and you look off your starboard side in a northern direction, you'll see the white sandy beach there. That's just north of the inlet. This area is called Porpoise Point. This is the beach area for a town called Volano Beach. Volano Beach is a great little town, little beach town just north of St. Augustine. Has lots of stores, shops, and restaurants. They actually have a full-blown grocery store up there. It's called Publix Supermarkets. This is great for our boating community because it allows you to easily reprovision your boat without having to use, Ubers or different rides. There's a dinghy dock that's located in Volano Beach. It's a public day dock for daily usage, and it comes off of the Volano Beach fishing pier. That's going to be on the east side of that fixed bridge up in Volano there. This is north of the inlet. On the east side of that fixed bridge, you'll see a fishing pier there. Off that fishing pier is a large dock that they use for daily dockage. Be advised, there's some yellow painted areas on that dock that they load shuttles and water taxis. Please do not dock in those areas. There's plenty of other room for you to tie up your tender, and you can walk right into town. There's lots of shops, stores, and restaurants. But more importantly, there's that Publix up there. Publix is not a very long walk, but it is a long walk with a case of water. So if you are going to be provisioning with heavy supplies, I recommend bringing a wagon. There's also a great marine supply and a marine mechanic right there in Volano, right at the end of the pier there. Be advised that dinghy dock in Volano is not in any type of wake restriction zone, meaning you're at full brunt of the wakes and the current there. So I would recommend a proper tie for your dinghy if you're going to use that dock. And again, remember, please don't dock in those yellow painted areas. You'll see the boats that are anchored just south of that fixed bridge up in Volano. That is our Volano Beach anchorage. Please be courteous with your wakes up here. There are boat people on those boats, and be advised, we get some of the strongest currents here in St. Augustine in the Volano Beach area. Now back to that fixed bridge. We just talked about the fishing piers on the east side of the fixed bridge. On the west side of that fixed bridge, there's a marina there. It's the first of our big three here in St. Augustine. It's where I'm broadcasting from this morning. It's called Comachee Cove Marina. Comachee Cove Marina is a full-service marina offering transient dockage, fuel sales, diesel sales, as well as pump-out services. They have shops, stores, and a boatyard on their property. Nice thing about Comachee Cove is they have a breakwater when you're entering into their harbor. This eliminates most of all, if not all of the current inside their harbor. They are currently dredging their entrance into the harbor of Comachee Cove. So if you're going to come to Comachee Cove for any services, I recommend you call them on their direct channel. They monitor channel 6-8. That's 6-8 for the Comachee Cove Marina. You can give one of their knowledgeable members of their staff a call over there. Let them know your intentions. They can notify the dredge can move out of your way, and you can have a nice safe passage into the harbor of Comachee Cove. Be advised that before you go through their breakwater, you will have current on the beam. So use caution as you make that approach to Comachee Cove. Between the dinghy dock and the Comachee Cove gives you great places to put your boat in the dock and go explore some of the restaurants, stores, and attractions that are north of the city. This does include the Fountain of Youth, the old jail. We have a Walgreens and CVS and dozens of restaurants and stores located just north of town. Back to the inlet, if you're inbound and we look off of the port side of your boat, you look in a southern direction if you're inbound. You'll see the body of water that's just west of the end of the jetties there. See a set of channel markers. This leads back to a body of water called Salt Run. Salt Run is kind of a dead-end lagoon that goes back there. It's a body of water between the Anastasia Island and the Davis Shores area. There is a mooring field located at the back of Salt Run. It's up underneath the lighthouse. At that lighthouse, there is a dock there at the boat ramp there that people can use as a daily dock. It's located at the St. Augustine Yacht Club, right there at the boat ramp in the shadow of the lighthouse. That's going to be up Salt Run. You can use this dock, cut out some of your steps to check out some of the stores and attractions that are south of the city. This includes the amphitheater, which I spoke about earlier. It's a great outdoor venue. We also have the Surf Station Surf Shop. This is a full-blown surf shop that has all your surfing, stand-up paddleboarding, and kayak accessories and needs. They also have all the newest beach apparel. Go see the guys over there at the surf station. Tell them that you heard about them on the Cruisers Network, and they'll take really good care of you. Also up there, we have the Alligator Farm. Some of our oldest residents. We have a mini golf course. There's a chocolate factory, a skating rink, and lots of stores and restaurants. This is the area south of, up in Salt Run, but south of the city. If you're at the city marina, it'll seem like west or east because you're walking east over the bridge, but it does turn south. That's A1A. That's how they go south there. But also up Salt Run is one of our second of our big three marinas. This is a local favorite. This is called the Conch Marina. The Conch Marina is a full-service marina offering transient dockage, fuel sales, diesel sales, as well as pump-out services. Nice thing about the Conch is the feeling and the vibe you get at the Conch. It is a laid-back, island-style vibe. It's very popular amongst locals. They have a tiki bar that's right on the dock, and they have a great restaurant that overlooks the waters of Salt Run. Conch Marina is a very popular marina for boaters to go to. I highly recommend checking it out. It's home to most of our charter boats, our charter fleet. Real popular thing for boaters and cruisers to do is to go to the tiki bar over there, get you a Goombay Smash, a local favorite, and check out the Catch and listen to the live music at the Conch House. Because the Conch House is such a busy marina, I highly recommend if you're going to go to that dock for any services, give them a call on their direct channel. They monitor channel 69 on the VHF radio. That's their direct contact. Call them up, get in the queue. That way you can make sure you have adequate assistance when you get to the dock. It's a very busy marina, and we do get those strong currents even at the Conch House. So check that out. That's the Conch Marina of Salt Run. They monitor channel 69. Back to the inlet, there's nothing like it when you're inbound St. Augustine. You got that big cross there, blessing the whole harbor. That's called the Beacon of Faith. We have the fort there, the oldest structure in North America. I mean, it's just incredible, the history there. You'll see the boats that are anchored behind the fort. That's our north anchorage, and then the boats that are in the mooring field at the bayfront there, north of the Bridge of Lions. This is called our San Marco mooring field. This is what it's all about, staying in the San Marco mooring field, kick back, looking at the oldest city in America. It's just, there's nothing like it. It really is magical. This is the mooring field. This is north of the Bridge of Lions. Let's talk about that Bridge of Lions. This is the crown jewel of the city of St. Augustine. Very busy bridge right through the heart of St. Augustine. The bridge opens on a schedule. The schedule for the Bridge of Lions is on the hour and on the half hour. Big hand on the 12, big hand on the 6. Bridge of Lions, as well as all bridges in Florida, monitor channel 09. And remember this, when you pull up to wait on the bridge, this is when you need to know your currents. You may not know or realize you got a 3.5, 4 knot current with you, and you got to wait on the bridge for 15 minutes for an opening. This is where you need to plan accordingly with the currents here in the city of St. Augustine. Just south of the bridge on the western shore is our third of our big 3 marinas here in St. Augustine. This is the city's marina. This is the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. This is a full service marina offering fuel sales, diesel sales, pump out services, both dockside and mobile, as well as transient dockage. The St. Augustine Municipal Marina is a very busy marina. They manage the mooring fields that are here in St. Augustine. We have one north of the bridge, which is called the San Marco mooring field. And then the mooring field south of the bridge is the Menendez mooring field. I call it the Leave It to Beaver neighborhood. It's a little larger. It's spread out a little more. It's a little further away from the inlet, so a little less impact from the ocean. This is where you'll see that Anchor Eats tender out there. If you see the Anchor Eats orange tender out there, give them a wave. They're delivering food. But back to this St. Augustine Municipal Marina. They offer a wonderful service to the 2 downtown mooring fields, to the Menendez mooring field and the San Marco mooring fields. They offer a complimentary shuttle service. This runs daily. It starts at 10 a.m. It runs till 6 p.m. It runs in 2-hour intervals. This is a great service for our boaters that are staying in the Menendez or the San Marco mooring fields. They also offer a mobile pump out service that they like to do early in the mornings. I highly recommend scheduling that early or do it the day before, schedule it for the next morning very early. Those of you not staying in the mooring fields and you'd still like to use the dinghy dock, you can purchase a daily dinghy pass for the city of St. Augustine. The St. Augustine Municipal Marina sells daily dinghy passes. This gives you access to the dinghy dock, as well as the showers, lounge, and laundry facilities at the marina. St. Augustine Municipal Marina is a very busy marina, extremely busy. I highly recommend, if you're going to go to them for any services at the city marina, call them on their direct channel. Call them on their direct channel. They monitor channel 71 for the St. Augustine Municipal Marina, and you can get into the queue to make sure that you have adequate assistance when you get to the dock for whatever services that you need. Please remember, you do get those very strong currents. This is more apparent in and around the city of St. Augustine, especially at the St. Augustine Municipal Marina. So give them a call on their channel, channel 71. And the folks over there at the Municipal Marina, they're ambassadors to the city. They're very knowledgeable. They can help you out with all kinds of stuff. Give them a call on 71. Let them know what your intentions are. Get in the queue, and then follow the directions. And they are very knowledgeable and very helpful there at the St. Augustine Marina. Just south of town, you'll see that Menendez mooring field. It's just south of the city marina. Just want to let you know there's a small shoal that's to the east of the Menendez mooring field. It's between the Intercoastal Waterway and that mooring field. It's marked very well on your chart plotter as well as by channel markers. But if you're going to leave at a lower tide, do your homework. Remember, you can always call the marina on their direct channel 71 to ask any questions about arrivals or departures to the Menendez mooring field. South of town, you'll see another fixed bridge just south of town. That's the 312 bridge. Just before that bridge, off of your starboard side, if you're southbound, looking in a western direction, you'll see a set of channel markers. This is the entrance to the San Sebastian River. This is a river that runs up the back spine of St. Augustine. Has lots of stores, shops, boat yards, and restaurants that are up that river. It's a great place to explore, and you can utilize the daily dock at the Cat's Paw Marina that's up the San Sebastian River. If you give them your information, contact information, they allow us to use that daily dock to explore the shops, stores, and restaurants that are west of the city. This includes a local favorite, the Grouper Shack, which is on their property, as well as Home Depot, Target. You can go see Stephanie at West Marine. There's a pet supermarket, as well as a Walmart, a Winn-Dixie, and lots of other stores and restaurants. And by utilizing that daily dock at the Cat's Paw Marina, this gives you access to walk up there and check out those different establishments. Please remember, we have a lot of liveaboards that are here at St. Augustine. A lot of them are up in the San Sebastian River. A lot of those marinas have our liveaboard family in there. So please be courteous with your wakes as you're going up the San Sebastian River, as well as the entire city of St. Augustine. There are people on all those boats. Let's please be courteous. You are responsible for your wakes. This is just some of the information about some of the things in and around the city of St. Augustine. Hopefully some of this information is helpful. Again, remember to check out the St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. You can check out the broadcast, we record the broadcast and post it on the Facebook page. You can check out if you missed anything in this morning's show. We're going to take a quick break, catch our breath, get a drink of coffee. We're going to come back, we're going to have our blessing of the day and close the show. Please stand by.
This most
Welcome back, boaters and cruisers in the St. Augustine area. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing morning this morning in our nation's oldest city, St. Augustine, Florida. My name is Brian Bliss, and I'm broadcasting live for the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their day. We got some beautiful weather for this week and this weekend, so get out there and enjoy this amazing city. And remember to check out those websites at visit staugustine.com and theamp.com to find out about local activities and events happening in around the city. Remember to check out that St. Augustine Cruisers Network Facebook page. It's a valuable tool to share information and to gain information about. It's useful for our boating and cruising community here in the St. Augustine area. We do this broadcast every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 a.m. We'd love to have it every day. If you're interested in doing a broadcast yourself, you can do it from your boat one day, or a special day, or a regular broadcast. We encourage it. If talking on the radio is not your thing, and you just like to, and you're interested in hosting an event, I can come to your boat. We do the broadcast from your boat. We've actually done the Cruisers Network broadcast from the Black Raven Pirate Ship, from several of our local boats and sailboats that are around the city, as well as the motor vessel Cover Girl. And remember to check out that Facebook page to catch any of our past broadcasts of the Cruisers Network. You can check it out on the Facebook page, or you can check it out through the Anchor Eats YouTube channel. Now it's going to be our time for our blessing of the day, so please stand by for our blessing. This is the Navigator's Blessing by the Little Gold Boat. May you see the way wherever the journey takes you, sailing safely over rough water and weathering the waves' dips and crests. May you find treasure in Earth's infinite variety of beauty and surprise. May you hear the ocean's music in every seashell you hold to your ear. May your boat fill with insight, laughter, generosity, and love as you discover new landscapes and explore the wide expanse of memory. Remember to be kind and live proper, and to make amazing memories while you're here in the ancient city. And remember this: others dream of the lives that we live. We are truly blessed. Whether you're a sailboat or powerboater, work in the boating industry, fisherman, pirate, no matter what you do on the water, we are all blessed to be stewards of the sea. Right now is our final announcement. Is there anybody like to make an announcement, share an announcement with the group before we close? If so, please do so now. I'd like to thank everybody for listening in this morning. Again, my name is Brian Bliss with the St. Augustine Cruisers Network. I'd like to thank our sponsors for this morning's show, Admiral Yacht Sales, for providing this wonderful boat to do the broadcast, as well as Anchor Eats Nautical Delivery Service. It's a new concept here in St. Augustine. It's the DoorDash on the water. The Anchor Eats team will deliver you hot food, cold treats, groceries, and marine supplies directly to your boat. Look for the orange tender in the mooring fields, or check out their website, getanchoreats.com. On behalf of myself, Brian Bliss, and the St. Augustine Cruisers Network, I have nothing further. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. We're going to be clear, going back to 1-6. Have a wonderful day and enjoy this amazing city. Have a great day. And that's how we do it. All right, thanks you guys for listening. Hopefully everybody has an amazing day here in St. Augustine. Remember to check out that bridge. It really is cool. There's a protected area. You see somebody walking up there now. Get your steps in, and right over there underneath the bridge is a great little bar. So after you work up a sweat, you can stop in at Beaches and go see Mindy over there. She'll take really good care of you. Well, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be back on Thursday at 9 o'clock. Have a great one.